Yes, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've had a good day. Hope you enjoyed the football that you just watched. Hope it was not terrifying for you. Atleti won. Arsenal won. This was the most interesting of the semi-finals this week. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, the game between PSG and Bayern was entertaining. It was a 9-goal thriller, 5-4. But this one, I am more emotionally invested. The other game, I was not just watching it because it would be a good game to watch. And this one was as well. There was all of the emotions. There was the up, the highs and the lows, the oohs and the ahs, nearly moments, penalty kicks, referee decisions. All of that was in this game. And the game still continues because it's just the first leg. So both teams still have a 50-50 chance of getting into the final. I hope that it swings Arsenal ways at the Emirates next week. But for today's game, I'm going to say that it was what a lot of people expected it was going to be. It was what people expected it was going to be. A game of counter-attacking football, a game where the most clinical of the forwards would win. But unfortunately, would decide the game. But fortunately or unfortunately, the striker still decided the game, but by both goals were scored by penalties. Now, in the first half, I think Arsenal had the better of the first half because they created way more chances than Atleti did. Yes, when Atleti went forward, when they were pressing Arsenal in their attack, they were kind of, I would say they were more purposeful with what they were doing. Like the intention was to try to smash the ball into the back of the net. And Lookman, the battle between Lookman and Ben White, White lost that one. Alvarez had some joy in between Gabriel and Saliba because they usually have had a decoy in front of Alvarez, but he was at the end of a lot of chances, especially the first half and until he got injured. But I'm not going to complain because Arsenal defensive side, sure, we were more defensively solid than those guys. We were. If you watch the game, the better defense was Arsenal's one. But when Arsenal went forward, they went with the intention to control possession. That's the difference between the team. One wanted to destroy the back of the net. Another one was holding possession, waiting for the perfect opportunity, which kind of played into Atleti's hand. It plays into Atleti's hand. A lot of the chances that Arsenal got in the first half ended up with Nkapie. If Nkapie had better heading abilities, maybe Arsenal would have won the game. There was also a time where Gyokeres ran with the ball, man, from halfway line towards the end, past Odegaard. Odegaard didn't know what to do in that situation. Had two or three touches and fluffed his line. You know, I'm just thinking if those chances had gone in, maybe we'll be having a different conversation right now. But, you know, luckily for Arsenal, they got the penalty in the first half, tucked away by Gyokeres, a powerful shot. Oblak was not saving it. Oblak went the right way, but with the pace and power that the ball was going into the net with, there was no way Oblak would save that. So Arsenal 1-0 in the first half. So I was thinking, you know what, second half, we are going to raise it up a level as we did at the Emirates. But no, second half came, Atleti actually had the upper hand. They came out with a purpose. They were very, very purposeful in all they did. They pressed, shot, the fans was behind them. And Arsenal did well to ride that wave. But unfortunately, Arsenal considered a penalty. Was it a penalty? Well, if the penalty yesterday was a penalty, then this one was definitely a penalty. I don't have a problem with either penalty. But I'll talk about the ref in a sec. So, Alvarez scores his own penalty, so 1-1. And they were on high. Atleti was on high. Arsenal had to ride the wave. We made certain changes, made 3 changes. Obviously, they changed Odegaard for Eze, first of all, as soon as the second half started. And we brought in the cavalry of Saka, Trossard, and Gabriel Jesus. There's no need to complain. Why is the manager taking off Gyokeres? We are used to it by now. We know all of his subs are like for like. Eze for Odegaard, Saka for Madueke, Jesus for Gyokeres, and Trossard for Martinelli. That's how the manager rolls, like for like. But the disappointing thing was, I don't think Jesus did anything in the game. Jesus did not make any changes. It took a while for Saka to get into the game. Rarely, but Trossard was just there to press. That's all he was doing, right? I don't think the subs really changed the game. Yes, they made Arsenal gain possession again of the ball. They were more solid. They controlled the ball better than before those guys came in. Because when Atleti pressed us, we know we know that Madueke and Martinelli cannot function in that situation. So Trossard and Saka handled that pressure better, but offered nothing in the final third. However, there was a moment where things could have changed, where Arsenal would have made something out of nothing. A simple pass from Saka to Eze, and it was fouled. Ref gave a penalty. First things first. First of all, he gave a penalty. All right, they went to the VAR, all of that stuff, and it was cancelled. But it was not a clear and obvious error. It was not a clear and obvious error. I think the ref today was biased. Right? Penalty shouts, apart from the Eze one, Eze's penalty. Everything else was all right, but a lot of times when Arsenal were fouled, it's a play on thing, and when the Atletico players are fouled, it's a free kick. We are always going to see this. I think in Europe there's only that German ref that I kind of respect. He's still biased against English teams, but he's more fair. He's fairer overall compared to everyone else that refs against English teams. So I'm expecting similar again at the Emirates. Atleti had home advantage today. The ref was on their side, the fans was on their side, everything was going their way. But Arsenal did well to get a professional result, a draw to go back to London with. So that's my take on the game. You let me know what you think. But let me do a quick player rating before we end the video. So Raya, I would say Raya had a fabulous game. I would say very excellent performance from David Raya. The saves that he made kept us in the game, so that was good to see. Nkapie, as usual, very good performance. Gabriel Magalhaes, very good performance. Saliba, very good performance. Ben White, all right performance. Lookman had a good time because of Ben White. Rice, very good performance. Zubimendi, good performance. Odegaard, first half, good performance, to be fair. On the left, Martinelli, very good performance. Gyokeres, good performance. Madueke, all right performance. The subs, Eze, good performance. Saka, all right performance. Trossard, all right performance. Madueke, Jesus, poor performance. Mosquera, all right performance. And the manager, I would say all right from the manager. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Arsenal can do it? I think Arsenal can win at the Emirates and make it to the final. Over to Fulham next at the weekend, where the title race continues. But for now, I'm going to say, it is what it is. 1-1 draw. We'll take that going into the second leg of the semi-finals. Have a fantastic time, people. Press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you've been watching and you've not done it. Please press subscribe. Thank you very much. Road to 1K. We're not far off. 60 people. Press subscribe right now and we'll get there. All right. Have a fantastic evening, people. All day, depending on when you're watching it. Peace.
Psst, psst. Oi. Subscribe. Press subscribe. Thank you.